Hello and welcome to another madcap half hour of Mutant Machines. We're at the quarter-final stages of the series and look at the state of this place. The workshop grounds look like a mechanical graveyard. So today's challenge is to clear up this mess. Our teams have to devise a recovery vehicle to move these dirty old motors from A to B. Let's go meet the boys. So let's welcome back in the red corner, universally challenged, and they'll be playing against the blues, the Jeepers. Now then, lads, you've both been here before. You know the score, you know the rules, so there's no excuse. You've got just 8 hours work time, and your donor vehicle is that nasty old Proton and this lovely diesel generator. Now they're both working, both running, lovely, sweet as a nut. So when that red light goes green, run for your tools. Don't waste a second, all right? You've got 3, 2, 1. Off you go!
Keep going, Jeff.
The Jeepers start as narrow favourites.
Keep going.
Their over-engineered pile driver didn't exactly last the course in the heats, but the four-wheel drive fanatics just did enough to earn themselves a place in the quarter-finals and are determined to learn from their mistakes.
I think we should allow an hour at the end for testing, if we can manage to do it. I think that was the main stumbling block last time, that we tested it in the dark, at an angle, in the mud, and this was probably not the best scenario.
We're going for simplicity rather than too much complexity this time, and we'll see how it works. I think we stand a good chance.
Yep, simplicity is the key for this one. Got a tight car park to manoeuvre around, so we're going for as compact as possible, so we don't have too huge a turning circle.
The universally challenged outfit from Loughborough Uni scraped through their heat with a mobile barbecue that looked more like a car crash in a supermarket car park. They earned their place in the quarter-finals by beating off more experienced opposition and hoping to do the same today.
It was only hard because we hadn't a clue what a barbecue was.
We also didn't really have a plan to go along to, so when we actually came down to problems which we hadn't anticipated, they just took us completely by surprise.
I was very surprised that it worked, to be honest. It didn't look all that good. Some of the machines previously were quite impressive. And I was just was a car with a shopping trolley mounted on the side of it.
You're in hieroglyphics, Chief.
No bodge shopping trolleys today. The recovery vehicle has to be capable of carrying a metro, and that needs careful design.
Very good program.
I say we should chop the back off. So we've got a little pickup.
Yeah.
Diesel generator dropped in the back as the power source.
Could we not use the back of the car as the base for the metro?
I suppose you could, but with that diesel generator on as well, you're really going to be knackering up your suspension. It'll be like quite low.
Why not use the front of the car,
Yeah.
the metro?
So we've got the plate off.
Yeah.
Because then you won't be able to see where you're going when you're driving.
Well, you can stand out the sunroof.
Suppose so,
Stick
yeah,
it
you
out the
could.
window or something.
You must have long arms, eh, to reach the steering wheel, like Stretch Armstrong.
I love these early stages, guys, because it's all really technically and head scratchy and well, who makes the ultimate decision here? Who's team leader?
Phil.
Phil? It's all on your shoulders, mate.
If it goes wrong, we've got someone to blame.
Yeah, I say. But as I said last time, we shouldn't really be making plans because we do only get disappointed when none of it actually happens. The
Get on with
trailer
it.
down here, yeah, bit of a flatbed going on, like link it up to the car, metro on the back.
Is the metro really that small?
Yeah, they're only little, aren't they?
Is that knackered as well?
Yeah.
Deliberately smashed.
Then pulled on by the generator.
What the Reds have failed to realise is that at more than 3/4 of a tonne, the generator weighs substantially more than a backseat passenger or two, and maybe too much for a knackered old Proton to bear. It dawned on the Blues, though, who instead of using the whole thing, are after 1 or 2 vital components. Hey, Jeff. You having fun in here?
Oh yes, just having the starter motor off and the battery, one or two other bits and pieces, to make a windshield of.
It's tidy inside, isn't it?
It's very nice, doesn't it? Look like it's done many hours. It's almost a crime to have it apart.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dear me.
Won't stop us, mind.
OK, so what bits are you going to use off here?
Initially, the starter motor, the battery and some of the wiring. We may have some use for some of the other bits a bit later, but we'll have to work that out as we go along.
What do you think to your position?
No problem.
Mark those words.
We can edit that out if I lose, yeah?
So is Jeff's confidence well-founded? Will an electric winch have the same pulling power as a diesel winch? Our head mutant, Professor Martin Smith of the Technology Innovation Centre in Birmingham, has been running his expert rule over both designs.
Right then, Prof, it's that time where you and I discuss team plans. I know you've been busy at the drawing board, so let's start with the red team.
Well, what the red team plan to do is cut off the back of their car, mount the generator in the back of the car, and use the engine in the generator, connect it to a rope, drag the Mini Metro onto the trailer, and they're going to use the trailer from the generator.
OK, well, that looks fairly straightforward, although that generator's heavy, isn't it?
It's very heavy indeed.
And what about the blues?
The blue team are also going to cut the back off the car, but they don't plan to cut nearly so much off. They plan only to cut the minimum off, to extend the back of the car, so they can drag the Mini Metro on using a rope, and they're going to take the starter motor from the generator and mount it on the bulkhead of the car.
OK, which plan would you say is probably going to be the more fruitful?
This is more likely to be successful. They're not cutting up so much metal, they're not putting so much weight on, and they're just using the electric starter motor, which is much more controllable than the generator. It's probably going to be slower.
Well, actually, Prof, if this bench test is anything to go by, the starter motor might not be slower. If it's to work, it'll need gearing down. So, two blues head for the factory yard in search of cogs and chains, while everyone else concentrates on chopping up their cars.
Now, both teams have decided to cut the backs off their cars, but the Professor thinks that's going to cause a lot of problems, don't you, Prof?
I do. In olden days, cars were made by having a chassis or a frame, the wheels were bolted onto that, and then the body was bolted onto that. And if you took the body off, you would still have a strong frame with wheels on it. But nowadays, they don't have a frame in cars. All the strength is in the body, in the metal bodywork. And if you start to cut away the metal body, you get a very weak structure. Worse still, that weak structure not only now is a tenth as strong as it was. If they put their generator, which maybe weighs half a ton, in the car, collapse of car.
Ah, oh dear.
Oh, how the Reds are going to rue not being in on that learned lecture. The plan is to hoist the generator up off its trailer, reverse the cut-down car underneath, and then lower it gently into place. But the Blues did say there was no point in making plans because they always go wrong.
Now then, lads, that dear old Jenny of yours didn't exactly slip in with ease, did it?
It's all right for a car crusher, isn't it?
To say you've lowered the suspension, I think would be an understatement.
Yeah, that's right. You can't beat a bit of a lowered car.
Is this incorrectly now? Is this Jenny staying put?
No, it's got to be... We're just letting the car take the weight of it, so we can get some more height on the winch, and then we're rotating it through 90 degrees, so the drive from the generator is lined up correctly for the winch mechanism for pulling the Metro up onto our trailer, which Sean is hopefully just about to fabricate now.
And have you actually measured this, Jenny? Do you know the dimensions? Because I can't see it fitting in 90 degrees.
It'll fit in 90 degrees. It's so heavy it will sit how it wants.
You can say that again, Phil.
OK, watch this space, because I've got a feeling this is going to go horribly wrong, right? There's so much weight on the back end of the car. The car's folding. It's absolutely unbelievable. And I think when they have lowered down the Jenny in full, the wheel arch is going to rub on the tyre. The front wheels are going to spin up. That's if the car doesn't fold in half. But he's just not having it. He's just not having it. He thinks it's going to be hunky-dory. See, the professor was right.
It's all right, because it's still going 90 degrees. That's made the job easier.
Oh, come on, Phil.
It's moved the wheel arches.
Phil, you are the most optimistic person I've ever met in the world. And he still says it's all right, it's fine.
It's made the job easier.
Oh, come on now, be real.
Right. It's widened the gap we've now got to put the generator 90 degrees.
What planet are you on, Phil? Come on. Mark, tell him. Knock some sense into him. Oh, dear. I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to have to, like, weld it back together or something.
We need some glue for that, quick. Go on, quick. You've got the ton here.
Oh, Professor, I cannot believe what I've just seen. I mean, that was unbelievable, the car bending like that. It's just all gone pear-shaped for the red team, hasn't it?
I think it's gone more banana-shaped, don't you?
Well, you did predict it would, but not that way.
Well, right. I thought they'd put the weight nearer the centre of the car, which is more sensible, really. But they put the weight over the back, and as a result, the overhang just bent it out that way.
So, Prof, what should they have done?
Well, really, instead of using the whole generator, which is extremely heavy, they should have just taken the starter motor out of the generator and used that.
Right, and that would have saved them a lot of time, a lot of weight and a lot of trouble.
Absolutely. Instead, they've wasted essentially all the time up till now, and it would have only taken them 15, 20 minutes to take the starter motor out.
And now they're back at the drawing board.
Yes.
Time to take a quick break now, but stay with us because it's all kicking off here in the workshop. Will it be the Reds' bent bomb or the Blues' effort that will be victorious in building the most magnificent mutant machine to tow away those mangled mini metros to a place of rest? Welcome back to Mutant Machines. Well, as you can see, reversing a trailer isn't as easy as it looks, and building one is even more difficult. It's a tense time inside in the workshop, and the red team have really lost the plot, as well as their Jenny. So my money for now is definitely on the blue team. I can't wait to see this showdown.
The winner of that showdown will be the team who can mutate a proton and a generator into a recovery vehicle capable of clearing the wrecks from the mutant machine's yard. The Jeepers have done away with troublesome trailer concept altogether and have turned their proton into a piggyback-style breakdown truck instead. And they've turned the starter motor from their Jenny into an electric winch, something they're well used to as four-wheel drive enthusiasts.
Go to our original Plan B, which we decided at the beginning of the programme, which is this one.
Genius. Yeah. Got a bit of a bent chassis, not very good. However, we've now
After turning their banger into a banana, Universally Challenged have switched to a similar starter motor plan and are now hoping to build a car transporter from their generator's rolling chassis with a proton to pull it. Trouble is, the university students are running out of time fast.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So it means we can actually have the tow hitch at the right angle.
Yeah.
Guys, I heard a bit of that. Now, it sounds like you're turning around your misfortune to work in your favour.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it was actually always planned that way. So
We're just using the weight of the engine to create a nice ramp shape on the back of the car.
Next, you'll be telling us that that actually meant to happen, that the car bent in the right direction for you.
it did.
Well, yeah, we had everyone fooled, didn't we?
Oh, you come
You all thought
on.
it was an accident, but it was actually planned that
Do you
way.
think we were born yesterday? Oh, dear.
But Plan B is short-lived. One look next door at the Blues shows them just how much work there is in building a winch from a starter motor. So it's on to Plan C, using a proton and a length of tow rope to drag the wrecks onto the trailer. So how should they have done it? A question for Mutant Machines resident expert, Professor Martin Smith.
Professor, the red team, they've aborted Plan A and B. They're now working on Plan C. I mean, given another couple of hours, they'll be on Plan X. But they've been a perfect example of how not to go about a challenge like this, because they got it all wrong. So how would a professor have carried out this test?
Well, in science and engineering, the rule is generally keep it as simple as you possibly can, but no simpler. So what I'd have done is I'd made no modifications to the car at all, other than to bolt on this tow ball. Then I'd have taken the generator off its trailer and just used the trailer from the generator. I'd have taken the starter motor out of the generator and mounted that as low as possible on the trailer, so that we're just dragging the motor, dragging the Metro onto the trailer, and afterwards we can then connect it onto the tow ball. We can tilt the trailer first as we drag the Metro onto the trailer.
Prof, you make it sound so easy. If I was a contestant, I think I'd be bribing you at the beginning of the challenge.
That's a very good idea. I can highly recommend that. But I'm not cheap.
And talking of good ideas, the Blues have been busy building a clutch for their winch so they can control the rate that they reel in their wrecks. Now, what's this about needing a crash test dummy?
All right. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that.
But we can control it with our variable clutch, you see, look at that.
This is what you spent all your time on today.
We're trying to drill that hole with the drill that didn't work, yeah. But we're okay now. We've got to do this like this so that we can then unpull it, you see.
Okay. What do you think your opposition's attempt?
I don't know yet. I haven't been round to have a look.
Well, things have not been going well for them today, have they?
No,
They've had a
not
few
with the
disasters.
bend in the middle. Was
Yeah.
a bit of a prob.
Yeah.
But then we ain't anywhere near finished either.
But at least the Blues have kept hold of their common sense. For some inexplicable reason, the Reds have removed the tyres from their trailer, muttering something about ground clearance. But it's too late to replace the rubber now, boys.
OK, guys, come on. I know it's been a long, hard day here in the workshop, but you've had enough time now. So it's time to put the tools back in the box, because this light's about to go red. Now! Hey! Well, the end is almost upon us here. It's been a hell of a day, really, hasn't it? Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, certainly for the red team. But come on, prophecy. You're normally right. What are you going to predict?
I prophesy disaster.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't think either of teams have got enough strength to hold the weight of a Metro and drive it around bumpy ground. So I half suspect the red team's trailer is going to collapse and the blue team's sort of extended back end is going to collapse. I think the blue team's winch will work okay, but the red team have dispensed with a winch. It means they're going to be pretty slow, so I think my money's on the blue team to win, but it's there's going to be some crunching metal, I think.
Oh, God. Oh, I can feel it now. OK, guys, it's time to answer those SOS calls and put these recovery vehicles in action. Your task is to hook up one of these mini Metro bangers each onto the back of your Mutant machine and transport it over to the corner of the car park. You've got 5 minutes to complete this task, and hopefully in that time you'll have dumped one car and be back for another. Have you got it? Are you ready to put the pedal to the metal? OK, guys, off you go in 3, 2, 1, boot it!
Come on, my dude. That's a good knot then. First knot's gone. Lovely. Hey, dodgy rope. Yeah, go. Yeah, okay. Steer that way.
news?
Go on, then.
Good news is one of you's won, and the bad news is one team's lost. Come on, boys, come on, down tools. Come on. Oh, dear. Well, guys, I mean, it's pretty plain to see, but obviously, as the blue team are loading up their second car there, I can safely say that you guys have won. But just before we start to celebrate, I've got to say that the red team were definitely universally challenged today, weren't you? Without a doubt, Phil. Mr. Optimism
It was
himself.
not designed to be ragged by this hooligan here. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
dear. Come on, guys.
Next time I'll drive better.
Yeah.
You had a good try, though,
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
you?
it's quality, yeah.
And what did you think of the blue team's design?
Oh, it was absolutely great, but
No, it was rubbish.
didn't have the ground clearance ours did with dropping the generator on, you know.
It didn't have that little bend in it, which would have done you so much better. If you'd have just tried.
Are you sure we didn't have a car crushing competition?
Guys, look, there's no swaying the judges. You've lost, all right? It was a bad design. But on to the blue team. Guys, great design there. I mean, in the first minute, you were winching your first car up and we thought, oh, you were quids in, and then, of course, it snapped, didn't it? Was that a tense moment?
It was a little bit tense, yeah, particularly as I was standing behind it at the time. Yeah, it was just some of the knots gave way. We hadn't pre-stressed the rope enough, so next time we build a winch, we'll do that.
Nice one. Good design, yeah. So you're through to the semi-finals now. You chuffed about that?
I'm fine.
Are you ready to come back for some more?
Hell yeah.
Nice one, lads. Well done to you. Let's have a big round of applause for our winners and our losers. And one of you boys better pop this champagne. Well, that's what it's all about here on Mutant Machines. Don't forget, join us next time for plenty more mad mutations. See you then. Right then, Prof, it's time for you and I to discuss team plans. Who's got it wrong and who's ballsed it up? Can I say ball? I'll just have. And...
Bloody hooligan.